Welcome to The Point of View. This is your favorite current affairs show here on Channel One Television. On The Point of View, we pick the right topics, we get the right guests, and we ask them relevant questions on issues that matter to you. Tonight's show is slightly different though, because this is the first show we're doing after the NPP Primaries elected Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia as the flag bearer for election 2028. So the question we're asking, how did he do it? We'll look at the predictions and the polls, looking at Ghana's #1 pollster. He's here with us to tell us how he got it right. We'll also analyze the nature of the victory. Then we'll talk to a key member of the Dr. Bawumia team as to how they interpret this mandate and what it means as they prepare for the next election. All of these and more when we come back. And I'll speak to Mussa Dankwah, who's also done his post-election analysis, where we got it right, where we need to improve. And of course, Hassan Tampoli is here as well, MP for Gushehu, a key member of the Dr. Bawumia team, to tell us what the mandate means. So gentlemen, you are welcome to the show. Good evening.
Good evening.
Is the white because of the victory?
You know, on a day like this, if you turn up in white, no matter what it is, it should be about the victory. So that should be the logical interpretation of the white.
Were you in Gushehu during the voting, or you were?
Yes, indeed. I'm a delegate myself.
Okay, and you voted in your constituency?
So I voted in my constituency.
Wonderful. And
had to be there to supervise the entire process all the way until I grabbed my pink sheet.
Good.
And then I went all the way back to Tamale, and here I am in Accra.
We have three big headlines from the election, and those headlines will be explained by what I'm about to show you. So in 2023, it was a two-horse race. Dr. Bawumia had 61%, Kennedy Agyapong had 38%. First big story is that this is a three-horse race. From all indications, based on what we know, the results that we saw clearly shows that this was a three-way race. So Dr. Bawumia 56.48, rounded it up to 56.5. Kennedy Agyapong 23.8, rounded up, and then of course Brian Agyapong 18.5. The real story is in the colors we've put there. So if you see deep blue, it means Dr. Bawumia has won, and it's won by over 60%. If you see light blue, it means he's won, but his margin is much closer to 50 or even below 50. If you see pink, it tells you Kennedy Agyapong won. And if you see yellow for the first time, it means Brian Agyapong won. So this map has four different colors. All the deep blues are places Dr. Bawumia won very, very well. And you can tell quickly that the further up north you go, the deeper it gets. So he won Upper East, Upper West, Northeast, North, Savannah, Bono East, Oti. But he also did win the Western region, and he also won the Ahafo region. So it's very clear that he's very strong in the north. Places that he won but did not win as comfortably include, of course, the eastern region, where he got 51%. Very interesting. Second point there is that the person who was second was Brian Agyapong. He got 29% in the eastern region. That's an interesting story. The other region that Doc won, but you would not say he dominated absolutely, was the Ashanti region, big region. He got 58%. Kennedy Agyapong gets a quarter of the votes, 25%. So that should also tell you a story. Western North was also more tricky. He got 44% actually. This was very close. Kennedy got 38%. Brian was 17%. The Bono region was also not as dominant for Dr. Bawumia. 58%. Kennedy 22%. Brian 17%. All right. And of course, the Greater Accra region that we highlighted as a very critical region because of its size, Doc did win 54%. Kennedy gets 31%. Brian gets 13%. So that's the second story in terms of the area of strength. But there's something else going on. So Doc won 14 regions outright. He lost only 2 regions. For the first time, the Volta region went to somebody else, Brian Agyapong. He gets 45.6%. Doc gets 35%. Kennedy loses and gets 17%. So that's an interesting story. And of course, the central region, which is Kennedy's stronghold, he does win it with 47%. Doc gets 36%. Brian gets 15%. So Doc wins 14 of the 16 regions. But there's something interesting we saw. The second place position in the 14 region Docs wins is evenly split between Kennedy Agyapong and Brian Agyapong. So it tells you Brian Agyapong's strength is not limited to just the Eastern and the Volta regions. He actually places second in 7 regions. And what makes this more interesting, these 7 regions, look at the geographical areas, he's second. First one, Upper East region, 22%, he's second. Okay. Upper West region, 21.9%, second. Northern region, 13.5%, a distant second, but second nonetheless. Savannah region, 14.3%, second. Distant second, but second nonetheless. Oti region, 25%, comfortable second. Of course, Bono East region, 19%, second. Eastern region is home region. He did not win that region, but 29%, second. And then, of course, he wins the Volta region. Now, where does Kennedy place second? Everywhere else, apart from the Northeast, where Kennedy is second, but it's really 4.8%, really infinitesimal. Kennedy is second in Ashanti, 25%. Second in Western North, we've already shown you this. Second in Western, second in Greater Accra, second in Bono region. So what does this say? Well, maybe places where Bawumia is very strong, if they don't want to vote for him, they go to Brian and not Kennedy. Who knows? Again, you can easily tell. The more eastern you go, Brian Agyapong is strong. The more western you come, Kennedy is strong. Musa, your quick comment on this. It seems to me as if Akan-speaking areas in the NPP did not give Doc as dominant a victory as some would have thought. And this idea that Brian seems to do better in the eastern parts of the country than the west. Did you know this before the election?
I didn't pay close attention to that differences. I somehow, and that's the problem with demography, I assume that Akans are going to behave the same way. But from this data, clearly they're not behaving the same way. The tribes within the Akan groups are behaving differently. If you look at the Ashantis, the Achims, the Kwawus, the Kwapims behave the same way. And then if you look at Greater Accra, it's made up of very strong, this particular group of people than those in the western part of the country. So it shows the link between the group of Akans who are closely related than those who are at the extreme end of the...
So NPP has a mixed bag of Akans voting differently.
Yes.
Which is why we are seeing this,
yes,
this mixed color. Did Brian's performance surprise you?
Yes, it did. It did. Even though we saw it coming, because in the headline poll, he was on 6%, but in the prediction, we doubled him to 13%. But that was probably even pessimistic in the sense that we didn't expect the collapse of Kennedy to be so catastrophic in the end. And the ripple effect was really what we saw, that Ken underperformed even our worst case scenario for him, and Brian overperformed our best case for him.
Hassan, any thoughts on this? Does this agree with what you were expecting? The margin, the emphasis, and the fact that it became a 3-horse race. Was that what you were expecting in your analysis throughout?
Well, good evening to your listeners and viewers across the country and across the world, that's actually. So what it is that this is not one of the elections that you go into recognizing that it's going to be one against the other. It's one particular election that you are going against 2 formidable opponents. So whatever tactics that you have, you must split them into 2. We used to have one formidable opponent, and then we had every, arrangement that we could do to contain them. But now, as you are containing one, another is coming with another strategy. So you weren't focused enough. So naturally, you lose, sight of a few things, and that is the truth across the country. And so, as far as I'm concerned, the real star would be Brian Agyapong. Brian Agyapong. I mean, really and truly, for a first timer, coming this strongly and captured as many votes as he did, tells me that yes, indeed, the election was even much tighter than we anticipated. What it is that we had 4 accounts, 2 from the Ashanti region, 1 from Central, 1 from the Eastern region. So naturally, you should find some strength. And it tells you even in Busumtwi, for instance, how the former education minister won comfortably in his own place. And then a place like Yagaba Kubori, Mampusi dominant area, 100%. Where we got 100% for His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Areas where we had 90% plus 85 and all of that were mostly in the northern part of the country. So, but this election truly demonstrates that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is indeed very, very popular. Out of 276 constituencies, he won in 232 constituencies. And he won across the country, not some areas, and didn't perform well in some other areas.
So that's 230 is in all 16 regions.
Exactly.
So there was no region that he didn't win
easily.
Constituencies.
Easily. So you can tell that he was, even in Central region where you could tell that our performance was below par, he won in about 5 constituencies. In the Eastern region, where we have 33 constituencies, we won in 25 constituencies. And Brian won some, and then Ken also won the rest. So the way it is, in Ashanti, 47 constituencies, we won 45.
So we won all except 2.
Lost in 2
one day, Duchum won, and then another one.
Exactly. And Ahafano, Southwest. But what is important is that the performance that you reference in Ashanti region as 58% was not too strong. Actually, it's above the national average. So as far as I'm concerned, that performance was
good for you.
Was good. And if you look at the number of people who came out to support the other aspirants, some of whom were previously with us, some, have parted ways to Brian, others to Ken, and so on and so forth. And for the first time, you found some people, I didn't know they could communicate like that. They had all jumped in, radio, television, and they were everywhere. I mean, this election, I was telling some of our team members that I found this election even more challenging and tougher than the 2024 elections. This
internal party election?
Yeah, these internal party elections. The dynamics were it was so fluid. One day something happens, another day another thing happens, and you have to be reacting.
So you probably have finished campaigning somewhere, and you've moved to your next place. Somebody has gone there to
precisely.
So you have to go back.
Precisely, and that's the truth of the matter. Yeah. So it's so difficult for you to just take your leg off the pedal. As soon as you leave a place, somebody goes there, and then you have to go back to put Humpty Dumpty together. And it is across a lot of constituencies, and you could find out some areas. Okay, we've been there already. Somebody has gone to roughen up the place, so you have to even leave your constituency and go to some other constituencies.
Wow.
2 or 3 days before the election, I had left my constituency and I was in different constituencies, all right, to try and then show up our support and then to maintain where we were.
Okay.
Because, it's so easy to bring different things up and then change people's minds. But all in all, I think that party is the victor. The losers took it with equanimity.
Yeah.
The winner took it with, great deep sense of humility. And I think that the party, should stand in readiness to unite, and then we tackle the opponent ahead of us. That's the NDC.
When we come back, we'll compare the outcome quickly to Mussa Dankwah's prediction, and he will explain to us the variances and how confident he is in his methodology. Then later on, we've tried to pick out the top 5 constituencies in some of the regions that the winner did extremely well, and to see what that means for the type of work done by the MPs there. All of this and more when we come back. Stay with us.